What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin with the latest SNA podcast video, and this is the AEW Dynamite review video on April 24, 2024. 0 for 24. But anyways, this is a very interesting AEW Dynamite, which had us very intrigued on what's gonna happen next in Double or Nothing, and it might have most of us wanting to watch AEW Rampage, because they have two big matches that's been announced. Something that they should probably would have put on AEW Collision or on a Dynamite, if not a AEW pay per view, if I'm being perfectly honest. But yeah. But besides all that, we had a pretty great show, and let me know in the comments below or more like just a pretty good show rather than great. But the point is, yeah, it was very entertaining to watch, and you would probably wouldn't have missed it even if you were more want to prefer watching the big occasional shows like if they're pay-per-view worthy or pay-per-views rather than just you're much, even if you're much of a fan that would watch the big occasional shows of AEW television. But yeah, we start out with the Young Bucks, and guess who they had in the back seat alongside them, along with Kazuchika Okada. And all three of them are champions. They're holding all three champions of the Continental Championship and the Tag Team Championship. And yeah, and guess who was there and coming out of the left side of the back seat? Yep, you guessed it, the scapegoat himself, Jack Perry. Here's where we got the Young Bucks. And Okada was right out in right on the outside of Jacksonville at the Daly's place, because this was the sorry I did not welcome you guys to the homecoming edition of AEW Dynamite on the post show Dynamite after Dynasty, and what this where everything lands at after a very good AEW pay-per-view like Dynasty was. But anyway, this is where we got got them got on the outside. Saw them going in. This is where we saw Orange Cassidy was heading out the ring because he was in action. But before he can even enter the ring, this is where he gets attacked from behind by his former best friend Trent Beretta that turned on him about 3 years ago. He started hitting big right knuckle punches that knocked him face first right onto the ramp. This is where then we got what's his name? Then Trent Beretta to hit another right knuckle sandwich right onto the left jaw, threw him right into the right inside. This is where he started repeatedly hitting some punches until he grabbed onto the microphone. This is where he's saying, "Orange, please, Orange, you did this to yourself, and Chucky, I want you out here. So bring your bring your wishy-washy ass down here." This is where Chuck Taylor then brought himself out to the into the Daly's Place arena. This is where Tripper was like, "I want to start off by apologizing to you, Chucky." And then this is where he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, Chucky T. I'm sorry that I did." And this is where he's and I'm really sorry that I didn't do this a long time ago. And then this is where we got and he was like, and it had to be done. And you know that, Chuck. And this is where Chuck was like, "No, I'm not really following you and what you're saying right now because it's very it's very senseless." And then this is where he started looking at this is where he's like, "I cannot believe you're doing this right now." Okay. Okay. This one. This one. Okay. SNA back. But anyway, this is where we got. Then we got Trent Beretta, then also added to Chuck Taylor. Like, with this is where fans were chanting, freshly squeezed, freshly squeezed, freshly squeezed. And then this is where he got back on the mic. He's like, please, Chuck, like, do the right thing and join me. Like, and give and join me and give the people what they want. Just without Orange Cassidy, this is where it's like, but it won't be the same. Like, why you want to do this right here? This is where Chuck Taylor then grabbed onto the microphone after Trent Beretta threw it right towards him. This is where Chuck Taylor's like, I'm not so sure, but fans are like, don't hug him. Like, no. And then they were like, hit him with stuff. Excuse me. This is where we got Chuck Taylor. Then before it looked like he was about to give him a hug, but before he even attempted to, this is where then he went on the microphone. So but wait, Trent. Like, you know what? Like, I always thought that you were a piece of sugar honey iced tea. And this is where he banged his skull right. Hit the microphone and bang Trent Beretta's skull with it. And this is where he was trying to do some follow-ups to his former best friend. But this is where Trent was already long gone out of the ring. This is where then he rolled out like, you got lucky on that one shot, but now you're doing it again. And this is where he's like, come back here, you coward. Like I'm going to give you more of I'm gonna give you more than just a lump on the head. Like, after you stab my brother right in the back, like, he's no longer your brother because you're a terrible human being. And this is where Trent Beretta like after I try to offer you, like, you think of that with me. And where Chuck Taylor was like, and Trent, like, I know. And I know they don't want, they're not probably not going to clear me for a match anytime soon. But I really want to match with you, get you in this ring, like, and I would. And this is where he was like, no, like, I don't want to fight you in this ring at Daly's place. I want to fight you at the parking lot. And this is where fans like, yeah, like this brings up back good old memories, like, especially in the pandemic era. And this is where we got. And this is where Trent Beretta was like, this guy is losing his mind. Like, are you serious? Like that's supposed to be our thing, is the tag team against our arch rivals in the tag division. And it's like, and this is where Chuck Taylor was like, not anymore. Like you let me no choice into doing this. And then this is where he checked on Orange Cassidy. This is where Trent Beretta was like, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. And I was like, maybe he's right on one thing about that, especially considering that he's not fully at 100% of recovery, but you never know. Like, how do we know that? Like, if that's the case. But anyways, yeah, who knows? But let me know in the comments below, and let's hope that he is, so he won't go back on the shelf, and we can see him more often on AEW television. He gotta be somewhere like near 100%, like somewhere in the 90%, because why else he's been making appearances more often, even though that's just to make some appearances, like to be the peacemaker and try to have the best friends be friends again, like alongside his best friends Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. But he said, like, nothing's not working, might as well stick by and beat some sense into Trent Beretta, and especially when once he's cleared to compete in the ring, like in All Elite Wrestling. But this is where we got backstage, and this is where John Moxley was like, wow, like, that was very brutal. And then this is where he's like, but later on tonight on my match, and he's like I will indeed defend my IWGP championship, like, and I want the mistake that of the arrogance, like, of and then I don't want to be the arrogant one, and I suggest you should not be the arrogant one too, Hobbs. Like just because Don Callis told you to be that, like, that doesn't mean like his best interest is not always the best one. Like, and let alone like him manipulating his clients before. Like, just look at Kenny Omega and a couple other guys he managed before he give him the big boot out of his family, his made up family that don't even exist. But anyways, this is where John Moxley, I powers off, I know who you are and what you're capable of doing. But track of a man hit is that hits the hardest that he can in his killer instinct. And I could just smell through a mile away. Like and then I'm acutely aware that what's in stake tonight. And I know it will take one mistake, for my entire world to come crashing down on me. Everybody knows, this Don Callis family, we're producing hit out on my friend, who likes to cry on attention, to see how much that they can go. They're getting, getting that edge to get the win and nobody knows better than me, John Moxley, when it comes to get to the top. More importantly, it'll take to stay at the top. So I know, honestly, for me, tonight's gonna be. He's it's gonna be a walk through a hell battle. But I'm gonna be prepared of it. But I'm gonna be I'm gonna be prepared for it. It may not be easy, but I'm gonna march straight up down to the lake of fire, and I'm going to. And I'm gonna meet up with Satan himself and slay him in his home place and walk out of there as your IWGP World Championship. And there's no way to feel better and alive as to do it in this very ring. And you know why? Because this is pro wrestling, and then this is the sport. And this is the best sport in the world, that you could possibly compete in. And tonight, Will, I'm gonna remind the world that just exactly who I am. And then when all the oxygen is pulled out of the Powderhouse's lungs and his big carcasses, in this canvas, they're gonna feel it, for Jacksonville, and and they're gonna. And he's I'm gonna hit him so hard, pulling pull the oxygen out of his big ass body, and I'm gonna slam his head right into that canvas. You're gonna feel it from Jacksonville all the way to Tokyo, Japan. And then this is where he walked out of there. This is where then we move on to the next match. And what's your thoughts on John Moxley's message on to Powerhouse Hobbs in this in the hype up for the main event match for the AEW World Championship? Let me know right down in the comment section right down below. But guess what we heard next? Whose house? Swerve's house. And he entered out in the ring. And not only he was going out there and going out to the ring and have some kind of a post-pay-per-view, post-show segment of a celebration of him winning the AEW gold. He also had a match as well, an open challenge eliminator match, which we saw a Swerve. I mean, this is where Prince Nana didn't call out Swerve Strickland like he usually do, except on the microphone, to just start doing the Swerve dance he does best. And this is where he started going all over in Wembley Stadium, swerving everywhere, ride, swerve, and drive, and blah blah blah, and you know the rest. And this is where Swerve Strickland took out his jacket. This is where he had the AEW World Championship gold around his waist. This is where we got Swerve Strickland then walked out of there with Prince Nana leading the way with the steering wheel on his hands while he was swerving to the left and then right, and then started going we're going to the barricade. We're going to crash. And then Swerve Strickland had to turn around and go right to the left and right inside the ring. And guess who was Swerve Strickland's opponent in his opponent at tonight's AEW Dynamite Homecoming post-show episode, in the opener match? It was none other than Kyle Fletcher. Yeah, for real. I'm being serious right now. It really wasn't. And he wasn't champion himself, except it was a mid-card championship over in Ring of Honor, which is the Ring of Honor TV championship. But did you thought that he was going to win to earn himself an opportunity for the Swerve Strickland's AEW World Championship in the future? Y'all probably be spitting if you said yes. But anyways, yeah, and obviously that did not happen. But anyway, this is where we got then Swerve Strickland was like, okay, I'm ready, Kyle. Are you? This is where Kyle's like, I was born for this. I've been waiting for a long time to get a shot at this top prize. And now I could get it with someone, guys like you that claims to be a fighting champion. We're going to see if you can put that on the test tonight. And this is where then we got. That's where we got Swerve Strickland and going for Kyle Fletcher's legs, but he turned him around, got him in a half a Nelson position. This is where we try to go for a suplex, but this is where we got Swerve Strickland and counter into a hammerlock. This is where we got Swerve Strickland and go right up onto a. This is where they try to. This is where then Swerve Strickland try to counter out of it and try to hit a back to belly maneuver onto Kyle Fletcher. And this is where we got Prince Nana was trying to hype things up and motivate Swerve Strickland even more with some power. And this is where he started chanting to the fans like who and they give a reminder whose house it is, and the fans already guessed it, and they been paying attention very well, and they were chanting Swerve's house. This is where we got. What's his name? Kyle Fletcher then snapmares at Swerve Strickland, flips him right over, try to go for a pin. Swerve Strickland got the shoulders up. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher to try to go for a headlock until Swerve Strickland got him and hammerlock as well on his right arm, or not right, his left arm. This is where we got Swerve Strickland to start doing a hammerlock hold right onto Kyle Fletcher, right with him sitting down right onto the in the canvas until we got Kyle Fletcher that puts his foot right onto the ropes in the bottom corner. This is where we got Swerve Strickland and was like okay, no problem. That's fine with me. When Aubrey counted all the way to 2, I understand why I keep saying all the way when it's on when I'm talking about like a 1 or 2 count, whether if it's by a pinfall count or counting disqualification warning. But anyway, this is where we got Swerve Strickland and walk around right to the left and then the bottom. This is where it's like, okay, like what else you got, Mr. Fletcher? And this is where Swerve Strickland then went forward, back, and I'm ready when you're ready. This is where we got This is where then Swerve Strickland then pointed it to his belt. He's like, that's my belt. And the only way you're going to get your hands on it if you can beat me double time, which I doubt that you will. And this is where we got Kyle Fletcher's like, just watch me. And this is where he then Irish whip him right to the right side once Swerve Strickland got him in a headlock. Well, Swerve Strickland was hanging on to his head, and he was like, nope, you're not going to throw me right to the other side. This is where the Kyle Fletcher tried to go for a knife edge shot, but Swerve Strickland ducks out of the way. He put him in a snapmare. This is where he got him into like a wheelbarrow roll-up. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Aprio has only got a 2 count. And Kyle Fletcher kick out at 2.1. This is where then Kyle Fletcher gets right back up. This is where he tried to go for a dragon screw lock. But this is where we got Swerve Strickland then counter it out of it, and then try to go for what's that? A wheelbarrow, like a wheelbarrow. This is where we got Swerve Strickland then going for armbar and reversal. This is where then Kyle Fletcher was like, no, get the hell off of me. And this is where we got Swerve Strickland that gets pinned right over by this is where he depends Swerve Strickland right over here, but putting his whole entire body right on it and try to go for like a pin, like with him doing a reversal of an armbar that Swerve was trying to do to him. But this is where both men got up at the count of 2 even. This is where after Swerve Strickland kicked out at 2 even, this is where they both try to double kick each other in the gut, but this is where they grab each other's foot, they put it right down safe and sound, and it rhymes, so it must be true. But anyways, this is where they're looking at each other, and then this is where we got Kyle Fletcher. Then was like, man, these guys really like this man, and it would be too bad, like when I defeat him in his first match as world champion here, even though he's not defending the championship. Actually, he's just giving me an opportunity for a shot at the championship in the future in this Eliminator Contenders match. But anyway, this is where we got I'm spinning. This is where both men were spinning around, Fletcher and Swerve. This is where we got Fletcher trying to kick Swerve in the gut, but Swerve was like, that's all he this is all he got. And this is where we got Kyle Fletcher then counter out of it and then boot him right into the midsection. This is where I was whipping right to the upper right side. This is where we got Swerve Strickland hanging on to the upper right. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher then try to go for a spear right in the gut. But this is where we got Kyle Fletcher dodges out of the way. But this is where he still gets super kicked right into the face by Swerve Strickland when he got out of the corner. This is where we got Swerve Strickland and saw Kyle Fletcher. This is where he snap married him. This is where the Swerve Strickland and hit him with a big elbow strike right into the back of the head of Kyle Fletcher when he was in the snap mirror while he was on the top rope and flying right off of it. This is where we got Swerve Strickland doing his version of the Jefferson dance, and everybody else do like that would kind of look like hopscotch, which he starts swerving left and then right, doing his version of it, like swerve and left and then right, like basically doing that. And then this is where he shouted to everybody in the Daly's place, like, whose house? Like if he was his manager, Prince Nana. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher was grabbing onto his neck, why is there so much agonizing pain? And this is where Swerve Strickland was like, that's because I elbowed it. And this is where then he hit another strike right into the back of the neck, which that surprisingly got Kyle Fletcher up. This is where then he grabs him from the left side, trying to throw him into the right. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher then throws where. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher, then Irish Whitman in the bottom corner side. This is where he runs right to the top corner. This is where he hits a back-legged kick right into the face that made Swerve go right on the floor. This is where then Kyle Fletcher then went right on the outside. This is where he tried sliding down underneath the ropes. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher then tried to throw Swerve in there, but he saw Prince Nana right behind him. He was like, back away, stand back, you freak. And this is where Prince Nana was like, I'm not trying to get in your way, and I'm not trying to get in your face. Like I'm just trying to motivate and encourage my client to get right back up and beat you. Like that's all I'm doing. Like I'm his hype man, like not his little cheating assistant no more. And this is where Kyle Fletcher was like, you better not. Like will be consequences on the power of the Don Callis family. Swerve Strickland like, man, like that family's not worth 2 pennies. And this is where he flips him right over him into a body drop, making his back in a more agonizing, putting it in an agonizing state. This is where Swerve Strickland to tell the fans whose house is it, like in the reminders, or fans are like, it's Swerve's house, it's your house. And then this is where Swerve Strickland was right onto the apron, hit a slide swipe kick right into the face. This is where the Swerve Strickland and look at Aubrey Edwards. This is where he was like, yeah, he was like it don't matter like how many times he keep kicking out. Like yeah, there's like he's gonna be not kicking out sometime. Like he's not gonna be or not kicking something. Like he's gonna eventually not gonna kick out when I hit him with any of these moves that I have left in the tank. Like I could be here all night and maybe all night until the break of dawn of April 25th. And then this is where we got But this is where we got Kyle Fletcher and intercepted like out of Swerve Strickland's grabs when he got to grab him on the outside. Kyle Fletcher then did a little beating right onto Kyle Fletcher until he counter out of him. That's where then he'd send him right into the lower right side, but he gets instantly reversed and get flipped right over onto the outer part, like right onto the apron, right? I believe in the bottom part, like where which that's the hardest part of the ring. This is where then Kyle Fletcher then try to go for a right fist, but this is where we got Swerve Strickland and trip him right over underneath him. This is where we got to go for a double swerve stomp right into the face, right through the apron. And this is where Swerve Strickland grabbed on the knee. I was like, oh no, like right after hitting the swerve stomp, he hit hard. And you know what they say about the hardest part of the ring being is the apron. And he was grabbing on the shin, let me rephrase that, not his knee, but still like he can his reign as NXT, not NXT. His reign as an AEW champion could be in jeopardy, but luckily that wasn't the case because Swerve Strickland eventually walked it off. This is where And this is where it looks like he was okay, just a little sprain and bruise. But this is where we got a back. This is where we try to go for that back-legged house call kick right into the face, right on Kyle Fletcher when he was in the snapmare position. But this is where Kyle Fletcher caught him in midair. This is where he went for a reverse ankle lock by looking like he's doing an ankle lock in a single leg Boston Crab, which looked like he was looked like he was about to amputate it off, like by twisting it and trying to pull it off. He was like, tap out or else your leg's going to come off. And this is where he started twisting and pulling. And this is where he was in the, like if he was doing a single leg Boston Crab rather than doing the ankle lock. But it's like a hybrid of both. This is where he tried to continue to go after that ankle by putting his whole body weight on his legs. But this is where Swerve Strickland eventually got his his hands right onto the rope, and this is where the referee's like, all right, like he's on the ropes now, like you're like you need to let go, and this is where we got Kyle Fletcher, then got right back up. This is where then Kyle Fletcher then gets Swerve Strickland right up on his knees. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher then start hitting the kick right onto the face and the midsection, which Kyle Fletcher was like, we're trying to do the yes kick. For some reason, he wants to mock Bryan Danielson, like just because his best friend fought him this past Sunday in the most highly anticipated match that we've seen in recent weeks and perhaps years. But yeah, but what Kyle Fletcher didn't realize that he's already moved on from that match, and he don't need to bring anything up from then. This is where the Swerve Strickland then hits a forearm right onto Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher then followed up by hitting him right into the face. This is where Swerve Strickland then hit a roundhouse kick right into the midsection. This is where we got Swerve Strickland to hit an axe handle right into the back of the head of Kyle Fletcher, along with a hip toss right onto Kyle Fletcher, and then try to go for a brainbuster. But this is where we got Kyle then counter out of it, try to go for a super. This is where Swerve Strickland then go flip right out of his suplex and go for a full Nelson Dragonplex. But this is where we got Kyle Fletcher then counters it and hit a try to go for a snapdragon of his own. But this is where Swerve Strickland swoops down, kicks him right to the face. This is where the Swerve Strickland then hit a rolling face. A rolling flatliner. This is where we got Swerve Strickland and Kyle Fletcher. Then got right up on the hit a suplex right onto what's his name, Kyle Fletcher. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Kyle Fletcher gets the shoulder up at 2.999999, and this is where we got. And this is where Swerve Strickland was like, "Oh, come on, Aubrey! You counted more pins, more pins that were more. You counted more pins that were less long than that." And this is where they try to go for a tombstone pile driver, and I was like, "What's up with wrestlers from AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling doing that move? Like, they're trying to find their Undertaker, but I'm not sure if they ever will. Like, not even Julia Hart within that role, even in the women's division. So I'm not sure why would they need to take something original from a company they've been competing with for years and use it as their advantage. Like, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not the one to judge, but just saying, like, you don't have to take a page out of a wrestling of a rival promotion's playbook just to beat them in ratings. But enough about that. Let's continue with Kyle Fletcher, then flipped out of it, tried to go for tombstone power drive on his own. This is where Don Cal's like, what are you waiting for? Just do it. And this is where, before he can have a chance to attempt to do the move, that's where Swerve Strickland flips out of that and then try to go for a tombstone power driver. But Kyle Fletcher rolls him up into a wheelbarrow, like roll up. But this is where he tried to pick him up, try to go for a tombstone power driver, but he's struggling for like the first two times until he slowly got him back up right onto his arms and his shoulders, and then hit him with a spiking tombstone power driver while like slamming him on his back. And this is where we got him trying to go for a pin, but this is where Aubrey Edwards counted one, counted two. But this is where Swerve Strickland kicked out the final second at 2.999999999 minus 0.1. This is where then Kyle Fletcher was like, come on, like that should have been 3. Like, even though that's my signature move, but now it is, but like it. But that should have been it. This is where then he went right on the ring and tried to grab a weapon. I'm not sure if he was supposed to do that because this was a contender eliminator match, not a no DQ street fight match. This is where then he start looking under the ring, try to go for a table. This is where he changed his mind. He's like, nah, like I think I'll be good without it. This is where he went right into the inside the ring. It looked like he was that was about to be it, with him hitting a big boot right to flying to Swerve Strickland's face. It looked like if he didn't even need it until he went right up on the top rope and the lower right side. And then this was not a good idea to do this move because like once he got him right up on the top rope, he's going to try to go for a suplex. Swerve Strickland then started trying to roll out of it, flip out of it, trying to hit some right hands right into the face in the midsection and ribs. And then this is where he started working when he started going for the face, started pounding like boom, boom, and fans were like swerve, swerve. And this is where we got Swerve Strickland got right up on the top rope. This is where like he got double lucky and hit a double swerve stomp, even though it was on the inside of the ring rather than the outside. But like I said plenty of times before, and I'll say it again here tonight on tonight's Dynamite review, like it don't even matter. Like as long as it's a move to hit, like it occurs everywhere around the arena. As long as it stays in the arena, I guess you could say. But yeah, he hits the double sword in a trio, but with Kyle Fletcher in a tree of woe position. I'm not sure if he found a card or not. Maybe he didn't need that because he had all the momentum and the stamina in the world to hit him with the move without being countered. Here's where then Swerve Strickland tried. Kyle Fletcher get up at 2.9999999 just when before Aubrey Edwards even ever had a chance to put her hand right on the mat for a 3 count. This is where Swerve Strickland was like, how in the hell did he kick out of that? And this is where Swerve Strickland was like, all right, enough for a funny game. This is where he's like, Swerve's house. This is where he hits him with the house call right into the head of Kyle Fletcher. He did got 1, 2, 3. And yeah, this was the second time he got double lucky with both his the house call and swerve stall maneuvers to get the pinfall victory, but all thanks to the second attempt of the house call. And yeah, your winner, Swerve Strickland. And it seems like that Kyle Fletcher won't be getting a shot at the AEW World Championship anytime soon, unfortunately. But still, he put on one mega impressive performance in the opener of Dynamite tonight in the homecoming post-show edition of the Wednesday night show. And I want to give a thunderous congratulations to the current new AEW World Champion for pushing Kyle Fletcher to the limit, and to make him look like a main eventer, even though this was in the opener rather than the main event, because the IWGP World Championship was going to be later on. And I forgot to say, the Don Callis family thinks they're entitled of everything just because they say so. Because not only Powerhouse Hobbs was getting a shot at Jon Moxley's belt. This is where he tried to go after. This is where Don Callis go after Swerve with Kyle Fletcher of trying to bring home the Don Callis family, bring home the AEW World Championship if he can beat him tonight. But he was not even close. He's not even close to becoming AEW World Champion, but he was, however, close of earning him a shot. But yeah, Don Callis won all the heavyweight champions, both from All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling. But it seems like that won't be happening anytime soon, even if they did get a shot at number one contenders. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this match. And I'll say I'm giving it the second match of the night. And I was thinking, if Moxley and Powerhouse Hobbs was not main event tonight, I would guarantee this match would be most definitely get the number one match of the night. But since we do have the match later on, I'm giving it second best. But this is where we got a backstage interview with Thunder Rosa taking on not Thunder Rosa. This is where Thunder Rosa was in the backstage interview with the remarkable Renee Paquette. This is where she was like, unfortunately, you came up short against Tony Storm this past Sunday at AEW Dynasty. And then this is where she was like, and she was like, yeah, like of course, and yeah, I gotta admit, like Thomas Storm got me right where she wanted, wanted me at, and she did beat me fair and square one on one. So I have no one else to blame. I got like like And this dude was like, but I can't really complain about it. But the only thing I can talk about right here tonight, and I did not take kindly, is that Deanna Prazo got involved in my business in my championship match this past Sunday. Uh, or and this where she was like in that, and then that Tony, like which she also called her that in Spanish as well, was like that. Like she had to kick me right down into the growing area, and then but I'm not gonna but I'm not gonna get into that. But my point is but Deanna Purrazzo, man, like she needs to stay in her lane. Like that's all I have to say. But this is where we got Deanna Purrazzo. Then followed the rules in professional wrestling along with the likes of Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce and Kevin Owens and Simon Miller. Like she heard her name being mentioned on this backstage interview. She was seeing what was up, what Thunder Rosa wanted for her to mention her name, and yeah, that's in rule. Was it 14? 1408? Yeah, that's what it was. 1408. That's where she was like, like it seems like you have a problem with me, like, and this is where she's like, oh, so like if you have a problem with me, like, and if you want to say my name again, say it to my face this time. And this is where Thunder Rosa was like, I don't want no problems right now. Like, look, like I don't have no beef with you. Like, I'm not trying to get no beef with you. Like, so can you just move right out of the way so I'll just leave you alone and not mention anything about you wrestling? Like, how that sound? This is where Deanna Purrazzo did not take that for an answer. She was like, I know, like you should have kept it that way. Like when you before you should have kept it that way before mentioning my name in your mouth. Like so, like it's too late now. Like you're just gonna have to. You're just gonna settle this between me and you right now, whether it's by mouth or by fist. And this where. And then this is where Thunder Rosa's like, no, stop it. And she start shouting at her, perhaps cussing her out in Spanish. And this is where and then this is where we got Deanna. And then she was like, and this is where she's like, I got you right in the balls, and what you gonna do about Rosa? And this is where she pushes her. This is where Thunder Rosa was like, what was that all about? This is where she shoved her right back, and she was like, what the heck was that all about? And this is where they nearly got into a fist altercation. This is where luckily the security guards were there right on time. Usually they're useless, but this time they weren't. This time breaking it up before Thunder Rosa and the Vociosa Deanna Purrazzo got into it. And they will be fighting in this Friday in a match like for AEW Rampage, or not Friday, Saturday. My apologies. Yeah, they will indeed be fighting on this Saturday on AEW Rampage, like after Collision, I believe. But yeah, but let me know in the comments on who exactly is going to win that match. I would have preferred to be a match one-on-one at AEW Double or Nothing, which is their next pay-per-view in May. But it looks like we're going to get the match sooner. Some kind of shenanigans going on for this feud to continue, whether if it's outside interference, or no contest, or whatever it may be. Hopefully that'll be the case. Like whatever that may be, like no one either doesn't win or nobody or whoever wins will be turning heel, and it won't be in a clean manner that they won the match, and then the babyface competitor will demand a rematch at Double or Nothing or something like that. But let me know in the comments below. Too bad we won't be seeing them getting a rematch, respectively, against Thomas Tony Storm, and this time in a three-way match at AEW's next pay-per-view. We could possibly see Thomas Tony Storm's next challenger soon enough, which we're going to see later on this evening. But yeah, stay tuned and watch it to the very end on exactly who be. Well, luckily, the only thing I can say right now about this brawl is luckily Booker T wasn't there with the homeless man and the hurricane with his popcorn out, watching it live in person, unless he was watching it in his house with his wife, Charmel. popcorn. It's almost greater than the NXT brawling. Brawling, watching that in person is co-commentator with Vic Joseph, and then this is where Charmel's like, okay, baby, like this is the only thing that you're gonna be. And this is the only thing that you're interested in. Like, how about we watch something different? Like, no, I want to watch AEW first. Then we can watch what movie we want. And then that's where we got. We'll probably see Charmel was like, okay, like whatever you say. But next up we got. Is where next up we got. This is where we got Mina. This is where we got. Yeah, next up we got me. Mina Shikawa, that's her name is. Mina Shikawa takes on Anna Jay, and let's just say that Anna Jay did not get her way, and it rhymed because it rhymes, and that was true. And yeah, let's just say that that Shikawa won like in a move that a certain certain fellow Stardom wrestler used to did in her time in NXT. But I'm gonna get to that as soon as at the end of this match. While recapping it, this is where we got Anna Jay in the ring. This is where we got what's her name? Mina Shikawa. Then Irish whip Anna Jay right into the right, kicks her right in the knee, hits a drop kick right in her back, and she hit face first right onto the canvas. This is where Mina Shikawa then got her leg. This is where she slammed Jay right into the ground. This is where she started elbowing it right onto her leg. This is where did she go for a leg drop, like hitting her knee right into Anna Jay's right leg. This is where she was like, my leg. And this is where then Mina Shikawa is like, oh, stop being a little crybaby. Like, it doesn't hurt that bad. Like, shake it off. And this is where she picks her up. This is where she spinned her around when she was on her shoulder. She hit her knee first right into the canvas, trying to get her some kind of revenge, like from a couple weeks ago, like when she brutally assaulted Mariah May, like a couple weeks ago, and that's when Mina Shikawa went for the save and made her debut and help out her Stardom best friend Mariah